Man, first and foremost, I want to thank you for coming on the platform. It's definitely an honor. I appreciate you. For the guests who may not recognize you, let them know who you are and definitely where you from.
Yeah, this is Azar Lawrence from Los Angeles, California, USA. Yes, sir. That is
Okay,
me.
okay. Big shout out to LA, man. Such a phenomenal place, man. So many great, creative, and profound people have come from that area.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. That's very true. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
So,
indeed, man.
what time are you? Is it for you over there?
I'm back in the States right now, so
Oh,
I'm
you
I'm on Central Time. I'm on it's about 11 a.m. But I'm going back to the motherland next month. So
okay?
yeah, yeah.
Motherland.
I yeah, yeah. I love to travel, man. I know you done did some traveling. All that music you making.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, can you still hear me?
Yep, I can still hear you.
Okay. Well, why don't I just go that way then?
Okay, cool, cool. I can ask you this. Now, how did you even get into music?
Well, actually, I had no choice. My mother was a very prolific pianist herself, and but I mean, she became a teacher. She's, but as a pianist, she was prolific. And I have an older brother, and she wanted one of her kids to be a musician. That was her dream. And so we both took violin lessons. And at 5 years old, I was in the USC, University of Southern California, their junior orchestra at 5 years old. So
Wow.
we had piano lessons and all those type of things before even that time. So yeah, and then went to the violin. I was used the violin for quite a while through elementary school into middle school actually, and pretty soon I started. As a matter of fact, I can take these off. As a matter of fact, as I got older, my voice started changing, dropping, and along with that, my what I was hearing, uh, though, it started to drop. What I wanted to hear, so I started looking for something different to perform, through to express through. And I thought all kind of things. I thought of maybe a viola, although the kids used to make fun, walking with the violin case, they would always make fun of you. So I wanted to venture in an imaginative way to other instruments. And we were fortunate. As I grew up, we had a pool, swimming pool up in Baldwin Hills. And my father had a friend that used to come by and lay out by the pool some weekends, and he would play his flute. And then one day he came by and was laying out there, but he brought an alto saxophone. And when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, that's it. That's I had heard it then." So I told my father, who he was more the facilitator. He said, "Let's go get one." So next day or so, we went and got an alto saxophone, and I played on that for quite a while there. It seemed like I had played on that. I had played all the bottom out of it. I mean, I needed to go further and hear more dimension in it. So this famous drummer, he doesn't remember telling me this, but Raymond Pounds, who's on the Trouble Man, Marvin Gaye album and Stevie Wonder's albums, and but Raymond told me, he said, "Man, you need a man's horn. You need to get that tenor saxophone." So when he told me that, I investigated it, and the very day that I changed, and so I was up at the Musicians Union playing the horn in one of the rooms, and this guy heard me and say, "Hey man, wow, what are you doing? We need you." And he said, "Come over to whatever the address was on La Brea," and it was a place called Bolick Sound, and that was where Ike and Tina Turner's. That was Ike's studio. So I went over there and ended up auditioning for Ike and stuff, and yeah, so just for a short time, I was with him because my I was had just gotten married, and I mean I'm 20 years old, or was I 20 even? No, I was 19, turning 19, something like that. A young prisoner. But at any rate, though, yeah. And so what got me out of that with Ike is that he said we're getting ready to record. So I said, okay, well I'm gonna go to the house. Let me know when. He said, no, nobody leaves. While we're recording, everybody stays here. You got everything you need and want right here. But I said, I'm getting ready to have a child. I got to go. So that was the end of that. And I was there. There I was into music. And, that's how that all jumped off.
Wow, wow. I appreciate you sharing that. I mean, you touched on so many things.
I did.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's cool, man. The saxophone is definitely an amazing. It just got a significant sound. You know what I'm saying? Everybody love the saxophone, but I gotta ask you now, what's the difference between the tenor and the alto? Is it like a mechanical difference, or just sound different, or?
Yeah, it's a sound, the pitch. You got soprano, which is very high, like just in the voicing. This voice, like you have a soprano singer or an alto range, and then you have tenors that sing down there. The same thing with the instruments. So yeah, the alto saxophone is in the alto range. You know, and then the tenor's lower. But it encompasses some of the high register of the tenor is like the middle and low register of the alto. And the alto, the high register of the alto is the bottom register of a soprano, so forth and so on. You have a baritone. Baritone is low. Baritone, the high register of the baritone is middle and bottom register of the tenor. So it embraces the various different spectrums of the sound. That's a
Right,
beautiful.
right. I appreciate you sharing that because a lot of times we love the music, no doubt, but I guess the average person wouldn't, even think about it. Like, oh wow, you have that many different types of saxophones, and but it's good though. You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, it's a spectrum, and that gives you different sounds and different things like that. Now you had mentioned Ike Turner. Did you ever get a chance to work with Tina Turner or come across?
I know. I actually just met Tina. It was because I didn't get a chance to do much with them. Because it was the recording time. It was recording time. But it was funny because when the Ikeettes were there, and we were standing in the kitchen, and then this lady came in, like a housewife or something. She came in carrying grocery bags, and she just looked like a normal housewife, and that was Tina. They hadn't put the wigs on yet. The other girls had the wigs on and the short dresses and stuff. But Tina, she came in looking like a housewife. Yeah. So
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, and you had touched on something earlier about your mom, being a musician and getting y'all into the piano and all that stuff very early on. That's a major blessing, man. And for you to be a part of, what would you say, the orchestra or something like that at that young age, man, that's intense.
yeah,
That's phenomenal.
yeah, USC Junior Orchestra. I was second string violinist, so that was interesting. But my mother helped me to develop a regiment of practice. Every day. I can still hear her telling the kids that come to the door, "Can Azar come out and play?" No, not until after he finishes practicing. I could hear her saying, "I'd be in the bedroom trying to hurry up." But couldn't hurry up and get the X amount of time I had to put in. So no need trying to hurry. Just go on and do it, and they'd be out there afterwards.
Yeah, that's amazing though, because a seed was planted for you to be able to work with the musicians, these iconic musicians, and be able to make a living. And just because your mom, was consistent about making you practice. Look how far it took you.
That's true. Yeah, she sure was on my, behind, as we should say, to make it sure every day. And then before she passed, she had contracted cancer, and I would take her and and bring her back to. I had moved in with her because she needed somebody to take care of her, so I took care of her. And then I remember one time I could not get back I couldn't take her back home after her chemo before I went out to the University of San Fernando Valley. I forget the name of it, but there was a performance and wasn't enough time. And so I said, Mom, you're going to have to go with me. So she said, okay. So I called out and told the people. And so they had a little truck waiting on us. And so she was in a wheelchair. So we put the wheelchair in there and drove on over to where we were performing. And I never forget when I was performing, I looked over. She was standing up. She had stood up. Go boy, go, go boy, go. Yeah, she was there. She was rooting, and she was like standing up in the wheelchair. So and then she told me later that day. She said, "I see why you practice all the time. I see why you practice." And that was very inspiring.
Wow, wow. I appreciate you sharing that, man. Just to see things, come full circle like that, that is inspiring. I don't have children, but I'm processing what you're telling me right now. If I can get them into something like that and just, be consistent with them, you can go outside, you can have your fun, but just handle your business first and then, you
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. That's the concept there. Handle your business.
Yeah, because when we young, we don't, we're not mature enough to understand. Like we just want to get out there, we want to have fun and play. We think our parents just spoiling it for us or don't want us to have fun, but it's a bigger picture.
It is a big